Hello, this is Lorena, and I'm back with another Duelist video. Yes, another one. I wasn't actually going to record another one, but I want to talk about this dream I had last night, which is very interesting because I suck at remembering voices. Yeah, I suck at remembering voices, so if a certain Yu-Gi-Oh character talks, I can probably tell you which character that voice belongs to, but that also depends on which character it is and have I seen the dub. Yes, have I seen the dub, or am I only familiar with their Japanese voice? I mean, this is very relevant, guys. This is very relevant. Why do you think this is not what the video is about? Wait a minute, that came out wrong. Well, I had a dream last night that I was applying to join Duel Academy, and my brain, I woke up, I'm in suspense. Dude, which dorm was I going to be placed in? Come on, brain. Answer my question. Although it kind of already did, because I said that I would probably be in Raw Yellow. But I also have no idea if that's true. Maybe I'd be placed elsewhere. I don't know. Anyway, Jaden was in my dream last night, and the whole... I know his dub voice. It's actually very interesting because I suck at remembering voices, so if I can remember someone's voice, that's interesting. That's important information. I mean, obviously, I don't forget every voice out there, but I'm pretty bad at recognizing voices when I hear them. It has to be I have to be able to tell who the voice belongs to. And some people sound very similar. But if someone is speaking a foreign language, that makes things more difficult for me. In fact, if you have a thick accent, then I may not understand what you're saying. Unfortunately, for both of us. Because, yeah. I don't really... My ears, can pick up on some things, but I kind of need a certain amount of clarity in my communication. Like, it's hard for me to understand someone with a thick accent, because maybe they're better at speaking a different language than English. If that is indeed the case, then that probably means I will struggle to interact with them. Yeah, I've struggled with this before in the past. I honestly felt that, but I mean, reality is reality. I'm not exactly able to control whether or not I recognize or understand what you're saying. No, your equations are not allowed to surpass my drawing abilities. They are not, ever. Bastion's equations are terrifying. They'll be in my nightmares. Honestly, that's a joke, but I think it's very easy for this to be taken seriously. Which is honestly a problem, because don't take everything I say seriously. Don't. Not everything I say is something to take seriously. If you're gonna take everything I say seriously, that's, we're going to have a problem here, because I don't mean everything I say. Sometimes I get pissed and I say things I don't mean. Yeah, and it's very easy to forget that I really don't necessarily come off as, where was I even going with that? I don't know. Let's rephrase this. It's very easy to think that I mean everything I'm saying, because, especially in plain text, you just don't know. But the actual thing is that just because my text is a bit vague, it doesn't necessarily mean that what I'm saying is actually intended to be taken seriously. Because if you can tell that I'm pissed, the last thing anyone wants to do is worsen that. But you also don't want me to feel like complete shit, because that's not going to help either of us. And I had a problem recently where I did say some things that made someone uncomfortable, and I'm just like, I understand, but at the same time, why are you taking what I'm saying too seriously? Don't you realize what I'm dealing with and what I'm talking about? Do you not realize why I am venting about this? And why I may be venting about it in the specific way that I am choosing to? Like, don't take everything I say seriously because I'm just venting. And when people vent, they say all sorts of bullshit. That doesn't mean that what I say is intended to be taken straight. I mean, seriously, if I say something when I'm pissed, there is a good chance I'm going to say something that really I would never do in my life. I mean, really. Are you really going to believe everything someone says when they're pissed? It's very obvious that I've been incredibly hurt. But it's also obvious that I don't feel like I can escape my situation. It's obvious in many ways that there are things that I just cannot deal with like a normal person. And even if I was a normal person, how much can a normal person take before they develop a mental disorder like PTSD or something? Like, I'm talking seriously, okay? You may be normal, but it really doesn't take long for that to change. And all I'm saying over here is I don't have much of a choice in some of the experiences that I have. So naturally I will vent about those, and because of the problem in question, because I can't fix it, then yeah, the venting is going to be extreme. Of course I'm going to be a little batshit, because there are things about my situation that really do not help considering the other factors that I'm dealing with. I'm dealing with all sorts of shit. And taking me seriously when you know that I definitely do not mean a word that I'm saying, well, I can understand why you're uncomfortable with the content, but why are you reading then? Why are you reading something that makes you uncomfortable? I don't know, but it doesn't vibe well with me when people think that, well, I'm saying this and that, so that doesn't sound good. Okay, well, I will say this. There are some things that may be questionable depending on what they are. And yes, that can prove to be an issue in the future, but I don't really think I'm much of a threat. Let's just be honest. And when I say some of the things I say, it's to cope with a situation that I cannot control. It's to cope with pain that I can't just heal this. I don't know how. I don't even know why I'm so angry all the time. I don't know, and I don't understand it. And it's very easy to dismiss this because of the fact that I'm an adult. Okay, yes, I am an adult. I'm also a very damaged, traumatized adult. And also, listen, I can only handle so much, but this pretty much goes for everyone, no matter how normal you may think you are. You can only handle so much, okay? Like, you can be the most average of the average. You can be the absolute representation of normal in the dictionary. But there are things that you will not be able to handle. And that makes a lot of sense. Because, obviously, not everyone can handle this and that. There are limits for everyone. But for me, it's just like, I've left. Like, I realize that there are things that have happened that obviously it may be a bit insensitive to say this or that, but it's insensitive? Yeah, well, what about the insensitive bullshit that has been said to me? How about that? Yeah, I've had a lot of insensitive bullshit going on here. I mean, not just said to me, but to a lot of people that I know. Like, seriously, my house is a walking minefield. No, wait. Houses don't walk. Although in my imagination, they probably can, but, well, we are not talking about a house that can actually walk, but anyway, my house is sometimes a very chaotic place. Now, obviously, this is not because anyone wants it to be, but there are things that cannot be controlled, obviously. And my sister makes it very, very easy to just lose your shit. Like, she'll just flip her shit over everything. But what really doesn't help is she's not the only one dealing with a bunch of shit. But I'm also extra sensitive to the shit she says because, well, I've had some pain that I'm healing from, but how the hell do I heal it? I don't even know what it is. Oh, I don't know what it is. You know, a lot of people probably think I should figure that out, but how the hell do I figure it out? Like, is there a process that can go into this? I have not learned it. My therapist is confused. I'm confused. Pretty much everyone is confused, and I'm left here thinking, okay, if you want me to sort my shit out, well, so far a professional has had some very... It's been tough for pretty much every professional involved. I'm doing my best to figure out what's going on and to address it and to heal and process. But that doesn't make everything go away. Especially when I'm not the only person that's the issue here. I mean, yeah, I've got problems, but so does my sister. And I vent like hell when it comes to her. Because I feel like she's just... It's like she's entitled or something. No, she is entitled. See, every time I hear her want anything, it just registers to me as someone that thinks that she can get everything she wants at a moment's notice. Now, the entire thing that fuels this problem, well, it may seem pretty petty that I'm talking about this, but it kind of proves my point. Like, I don't like sharing my clothes with other people. I know, obviously, I do when it's for the better good. When it is worth my time, I will do it. But obviously, I don't like sharing my clothes. They're mine. I don't want to lend them to someone, especially when I'm not on good terms with that person. I'm not on good terms with my sister. As far as I can tell, she hates my guts. Does she actually? Well, I don't know. But it does seem like she does. And because of that, I don't really see eye to eye with some of the shit she does. But her behavior just makes everything worse immediately. And I understand that she's hurt, traumatized, all of that. But who the hell is acknowledging what I've been through? Who the hell is acknowledging that I am as well? Well, I'm sure a lot of people would acknowledge that, really, but it boils down to, well, I grew up in a very different way. A very different way, and for some reason, I can't stop being pissed. I don't know why. I still don't. It's like a mystery that may never be solved. I kind of hope it is solved one day, and it's not just dependent on a bunch of random factors. Like, seriously, I don't have to be pissed this often. And a lot of people may suggest, well, avoid anything that pisses you off. Okay. Step 1. Avoid anything that pisses you off. Okay, well, I've automatically failed that one because I live with someone that pisses me off on a regular basis. And yeah, I could technically fix that, and no one could stop me, but again, as I've already said in the past, that'd be stupid. I'm not going to do anything that would hurt me, at least not on purpose. I will admit, hesitantly, that I have hurt myself accidentally before, and on countless occasions, because, well, I'm sometimes a bit clumsy. Yeah. Anyway, aside from that, I'm not in the best of moods, because I'm just thinking, like, dude, stop screaming at people. And if you want something from me, stop treating people like shit. Seriously. Like, it's one thing if you're going to judge me for saying this or that, but if you aren't screaming at people, then you are definitely, I believe that what you're saying makes a lot of sense. Like, you aren't saying it because you think, you're saying it because you actually believe that. Hold on a second, I got distracted. Yeah, you may be wondering how, but still. Anyway, most people, when they say certain things, they generally can back up what they say with their behavior. And when my sister says something, I have no idea if I can trust her. And I have no idea when she means what she's saying. But in any case, she treats people like shit. When other people talk about not treating people like shit, if that person does not treat other people like shit, well, of course they have the right to say that I may have crossed the line, because obviously they don't treat people like shit. But my sister crosses the line 1,000,000 times more frequently than I do. And sometimes I do lose a bit of control, but I mean, do you expect me to be some kind of saint? Like, I'm pretty sure most humans out there cannot be saints. I mean, it's rare for anyone to be a saint, to be completely honest. I'm not even sure how anyone can handle being a saint. Like, what kind of suffering do you have to go through for... Okay, whatever, this is ridiculous. Anyway. Okay, listen, Yuto, I'm busy venting over here. You know what? Yuto has been through some serious shit. But what do I see when I look at Yuto? Well, he doesn't treat people like shit. He doesn't treat people like shit, that's what I see. And yeah, that might suggest that, well, I'm sort of biased here, but Yuto has not traumatized me on any level. And you may think that I'm taking trauma lightly. Well, no, I'm not. I think my sister has in some ways traumatized me. And I really mean that, because it's obvious. The anger, everything. It's just like, I feel like the way that I feel right now is because I feel threatened by her presence. And the reason for that is because of countless occasions of her screaming and abusing people. And we're not even talking about the time she's making me feel like shit. Like, most of the time she's making other people feel like shit instead. Which is not better, but I mean, seriously. Okay. Give me a second. I have spent a lot of my life in pure pain. Pain, I tell you. And a lot of people may underestimate exactly what I mean by this, but I mean, I was born with problems, and I've had problems since I was born. Sure, maybe those problems are not everyone else's problems, but it's definitely difficult when, well, your problem is with someone else, and someone else is refusing to accept that they have a problem. And my sister does not really realize that she has an issue. She thinks that everyone else has the problem. And alright, I see what you mean, but also, that's bullshit. You had a problem before you got here. It's not our fault. But it's not really the fact that she has some... It's not the trauma part of her that bothers me. What bothers me is how she's dealing with it. But that's the actual problem we're dealing with here. You know, this might be a better strategy for taking out Yuto, considering how often he likes to deck himself out. Okay, Yuto, seriously. Okay, well, that was an interesting way to take him out. This time, I did not miss the timing. Good. Good. Okay, well, to be honest, it's not often that I get to pull that off. It's not often, and even against Yuto, it's still not very often. Okay, well, how many times? Okay, hold on a second. Hold on, I'm thinking. I can duel him 5 more times. And then I'll be out of event currency. Okay, well, give me a second. I'm going to come back in another video, so, I'll see you guys then. I might change topics, but I don't know yet, so I guess we'll see.